Uh, I'm feeling a bit out of place here, looking at the audience, because you guys are all technical guys. No doubt I'm an IT engineer, but I'm far removed from whatever training that I got from the institute. I was trained as an electrical engineer, uh, but last 2.5 decades, I've been among civil engineers, and hence that journey has been transformative. Probably one thing that my institute taught me is the ability to learn. I think that has held me in good stead, and that's how every day we learn something new, and that's how we innovate, and that's how we grow. So the task that has been handed over to me is to give a real estate developer's perspective. We being the consumers of all the products and services that this particular audience is providing, and what is the perspective that we bring to this to this conference, and how would it help you to service us better. I think that would be the gist of my presentation. Okay, so smart infrastructure for a digital India. I think India story has just begun, as a Prime Minister. That's the dream and the vision that the Prime Minister has given all of us to be the country of the next decade, if not a century. And there's a lot of catching up that we have to do if we have to be there, up there on the top. Yeah. Digital transformation, a real estate developer's perspective. And my presentation is going to be in 3 sections. What is our legacy? What are its pain points? What is the digital environment that we are talking about? And what do we see in the future? It's important to know the legacy, because if you don't know where you're coming from, where you are, you will never figure out where do you want to reach. I take you back to the year 1955. 1955 was the first year where Forbes published that first Fortune 500 list. There were 2,200 companies in that list. Any guess how many of them are still existing? 49. What happened to the remaining 2,151 companies? They perished because they were not able to adapt to the changing environment. Today, if we all want to survive, we need to understand what the environment is, what are the requirements of the environment, and what do we need to change in able to adapt to it, be able to take opportunity out of it, and grow. What is the digital environment that we are talking about? Just a simple example. 22-23 was a fantastic year for all real estate developers. I mean, we did huge amount of volumes. Both volumes and value, both were up. And they were exponentially up. So for India, 2022-2023 in real estate was a bumper year. In China, 2022-2023 was the worst year. You know how much volume China did? Twice the volume which India did. So our best year, what we have done in our best year is what China has done, half of what China has done in their worst year. So we have a lot of catching up to do. What is the future that we are talking about? That is precisely the opportunity that is there in this country. For decades together, we have been lagging in terms of infrastructure, lagging in terms of the facilities and the lifestyle that we need to give to our citizens. I think there's a huge amount of opportunity. How do we make good of this opportunity? How do we improve our efficiency? How do we make it sustainable? Because for the next 50 years, if somebody like me would be giving a presentation to the audience and talking about the Fortune 500 companies which are existing in 2023, out of them, which are the companies that are going to exist 50 years down the line? Only those companies who believe that their model of growth not only has to be economically viable, but has to be environmentally sustainable. Those companies who don't believe in the Earth story will not survive. They will perish. We are one ecosystem. What affects India affects the rest of the world. What affects the rest of the world definitely affects India. So I guess what is it that we need to do in the future is something that we need to ponder on. So what are the pain points that our legacy system had? This is our legacy system. And today my presentation is going to be more on, see, as real estate developers, it is not our job definitely we are building smart buildings, but what technology you are providing, what solutions you are providing is in your domain, in the service provider's domain or the product supplier's domain. What is in our domain? The entire process of planning to delivery is in our domain. And as Rustomjee, what are we focusing on? How to make this process more efficient, more resource friendly, and in order to deliver in the shortest possible time with the best possible quality and at an optimum cost. So this is the challenge that as Rustomjee, as a real estate developer, we have, how to use technology, how to use automation to make our processes robust, how to make our delivery mechanism more robust, more efficient, and more sustainable. So to understand where we need to go, as I said, we need to understand what our legacy system is and what are the pain points. So the legacy system had most of the drawings in 2D. It was a piecemeal approach. There was an architect who used to make his own set of drawings. There's an RCC consultant who used to make his own set of working drawings. Then there is, of course, the MEP consultants, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, firefighting, what have you, landscape, lighting. Every consultant, every input provider was working in his own domain. And the collaboration used to happen finally on the site. That used to lead to, so that was the challenges as far as the drawings are concerned. We had a manual process of quantification. So we had a set of quantity surveyors and probably 15, 20 of them are looking at the quantum of work that we do, trying to estimate the quantities, trying to put a number onto what the costing is. Again, we used all schedules were time driven. I mean, we used to work with bar charts and various contractors or various elements as far as the project is concerned were given a particular date that you will start your work on so-and-so date. Regardless of the fact whether the site is ready, not ready, this used to give a lot of stress within the system. The contractor used to turn up on the site and the site was not ready. And there was no mechanism of intimating him to pace his schedule. Manual contract award, and this used to take a lot of time because finally the quantities had to be put into a tender. The tender had to be circulated with the various contractors. They used to code. There is an entire manual system of analysis. And finally, we used to place a contract. This entire process used to take nothing less than 2 months. And then execution of work, as in all compliances and all quality certification used to happen manually. And manual bill certification. And this again is a tedious process. We used to have measurement sheets where the site engineer and the billing engineer used to go measure everything every month, month on month. This was our legacy system. So what did it entail? It entailed frequent changes, because since all the coordination used to happen on the site, when you figure out that there's a clash between the MEP or the electrical conduit or the plumbing pipe with respect to RCC, that clash dissection, that deviation was figured out on the site, and then a solution was given on the site, and that led to frequent design changes. Badly coordinated drawings, rework, huge amount of rework. There is core cutting happening, and in one of my projects, the core cutting bill itself was in crores. Inventory stockpile, because you order inventory which is not needed, and then you finally figure out that the design has changed and this inventory is redundant. Substandard quality of end product, because there is rework, because it is not coordinated, finally complete karna hai, you need to finish the work, let's move on. So that is by and large how things happen on a site. Cost overrun of costs, cash flow mismatch, and lack of accountability, and duplication of accountability. People don't know in whose domain this particular responsibility lies. They don't know whose neck is on the line. When everybody's neck is on the line, nobody's neck is on the line. Build certification process was tedious and time consuming. So these were the problems as far as the legacy system is concerned. How much time do I have? Should I rush it a bit? Just time me, so because I am prone to talking.
You have 20 more minutes.
Okay, then I'm good. So this is what we did. We started adopting simple and robust processes. We digitized them. We leveraged technology. I must say, what Jio did, not only to our industry, but to all industries, by giving this mobile phone and giving data cheap. That is, in true aspect, the true power that India has. And if we are not using this power, I think we are not adapting ourselves to the new environment. So what did we do? We brought all data on the mobile phone. Now we have my site supervisor, forget my site supervisor, my laborer of my contractor has the data available on his smartphone. And believe me, everybody in India, whether it is a fitter, a carpenter, whether it's a plumber, electrician, has a smartphone. He uses it for his entertainment. He watches YouTube, he watches TikTok, because TikTok is now banned. Reels. So why not to use this for our work, to make our life simpler? So this is what we did. We brought the data in the palm of our laborers. We leveraged technology. We improved efficiency. When you have this level of control on data and this level of decimation of data, you are able to improve efficiency drastically. And this was to impact the 4 critical areas on the site, which is quality, cost, time, and safety. We did lean and simplified processes. We digitized them. We reduced latency. I mean, since you have digital data, there is no paper. There is no pushing of paper, and there's no travel of paper. So data travels instantaneously. Thereby you bring down the latency. Time is the only thing that we don't have. And if we don't respect that, I guess we are all wasting the precious resource that we have been given. So we improved quality, time, and cost, and of course we improved safety. We made it into a well-coordinated relay race where there is a seamless exchange of the baton. See, we all run. We are all sprinters. My MEP contractor, my plumbing contractor knows how to run. He knows his job. My electrical contractor knows his job. He knows how to run. My civil contractor knows how to run. But they are all running 100-meter races. From a 100-meter race, we want to convert it into a 100-by-4 relay race. If there is no seamless exchange of baton, if the electrical contractor does not know that the site is ready for him to deploy his labor, the baton has not passed, and the site comes to a standstill. So we integrated everybody and created a system where even if you are a sprinter but you are not a good baton exchanger, you are useless to me. So what did we do? We created a 3D model, and this is the breakthrough. Without a 3D model, we were not able to do anything as far as the digital space is concerned. So we made it mandatory for all our service providers, whether you are an architect, you are an RCC consultant, you are an MEP consultant, you are a lighting consultant, what have you. We made it mandatory that you will work in the BIM environment. Once we had the BIM model, cost, that is quantity takeoff, was by a click of a button. So the months and days that we used to spend on quantity survey, on taking out physical quantities using Excel sheets with all kinds of errors, were out of the window. Our scheduling became tighter and it was more predictable. Digital award of contracts, updation of compliances and checklists on the BIM field, and digital build certification. With this, we were able to bring down the latency drastically within the system. We were able to reduce our costing from 30 days to 3 days. We were able to reduce our scheduling from 7 days to 1 day. And we are able to, the biggest thing, build certification. This is what my contractors work for. No, of course, people work for job satisfaction, but those are esoteric. Finally, at the end of that day, no amount of job satisfaction can replace money in the pocket. So we were able to bring down the latency of build certification from 30 to 60 days within 6 hours. Now we can certify a bill within 6 hours. These were the problem statements. Of course, I'll skip through them because most of it I have covered. Substandard quality. Now we have a robust and a transparent process through digital checklist. Cost overrun due to efficient and accurate schedules. Resource costs can be derived accurately. Cash flow mismatch. This is the biggest thing. I mean, real estate projects, the oil that it runs on is cash flow. Real estate is not a profitability business. It is a cash flow management business. If you're not able to manage your cash flows, believe me, your project will come to a standstill. So predictability of cash flows is very important for us. So we were able to avoid these cash flow mismatches. Lack of duplication and accountability through workflow channel and responsible stakeholder, we were able to approve and take accountability. So when I go and click on the BIM field that my job is done, immediately a message goes to the next person in the chain that the site is now ready to for you to start your work. So this kind of, so there is a seamless passing of baton and hence seamless passing of accountability. We were able to avoid frequent changes in design because clash detection was taken care of well in advance through the BIM model, the 3D model. Proper 3D visualization and clash-free design. This 3D visualization is a boon. So we are a 3-class society. We have the top, which I call gods, you guys, the consultants who create the designs, the architects, the RCC consultants, the MEP consultants. They are the intellectuals who create the design. Then there are the workers who actually put the design into implementation. And then you have that entire middle cadre. Right from my project engineer to my site supervisor. Their job is not to design. Their job is not also to actually do the work. None of my engineers or site supervisors ever held a screwdriver or a hammer or any equipment. Their job is only to interpret the language of the designers, the language of the gods, into a language which my workers and laborers understand. This entire job is taken care by my site engineers, right from project engineer to site supervisor. Now, if on the mobile phone, if the laborer can visualize, see the 3D model, he can actually figure out what needs to be done. I think that's a big boon as far as site is concerned. And I think that is the power that now I have given in the hands of my laborer, that without intervention from my site supervisor, he can actually figure out how things need to happen on the site. So we were able to avoid rework, avoid stockpiling of inventory, because now we have accurate schedules, we have accurate progression of work, which is mapped within the system and for everybody to see. So we had improved quality and speed of construction. We were able to deliver a building from plinth to application for OC within 12 months. After top slab, we were able to deliver a building for occupation within 4 months, and for a high-rise structure to finish a building right from putting the elevators, putting the facade, finishing the finishes in terms of marble, toilets, bathrooms, electrical systems, firefighting systems, to finish that within 4 months, 120 days. It's quite a feat, and we were able to achieve it only because we changed our processes, simplified them, and there was seamless passing of baton between the various agencies that were doing work. Increase collaboration, reduce conflicts. This is very important. You ask on any site, there's a blame game that happens. Oh, this is not what is my responsibility, it was his responsibility. I didn't do this, he did it. I mean, so when we were able to pinpoint accountability, and this was digitally documented, it was for everybody to see. Now there is no blame game, and there is reduced conflict. Reduce cost and less rework, greater level of collaboration allows to identify clashes at an early stage, of course, work faster, easier, availability and effective communication is again very important. Communication on the site is very important. So this is where we were. 3 different sets of drawings we used to have, one for architect, one for structural, one for MEP, and now this is what we have. What are the tools? What exactly did we do? I mean, all this is high-level thinking, design collaboration, and collaborative thinking. But what exactly did we do? And what were the tools that we employed? Simple things. Of course, we had the 3D model. As I said, this is the base. And And we explored various. I mean, our digital journey started way back in 2018, pre-COVID. And when COVID actually hit us, we were actually ready because all our designs were on the cloud, all our data was on the cloud, and we actually didn't need to send anybody to pick up laptops or desktops. Everything was available on the cloud. Cost and time management, we use Backcell, MS Office, Assemble. Execution, of course, we had 3D scanners, robotic total station, image meters, manual total, VR, AR, BIM 360. Invoicing, of course, we took our entire invoicing system to Ariba. So now we have digital invoice. My contractor does not need to submit the bill in paper format. He uploads it from his system, and then we approve it again digitally. So there is really no need for him to come on the site for bill certification. These are some of the equipments we used. Of course, I'll just rush through this because this is all you guys know better. Probably you guys will be able to advise me. Ye nahi karo, ye karo. What is the future? What is it now that we are looking from you guys? Need fast quantity estimation from 2D drawings. There are still certain aspects of the construction that we cannot take to 3D because the cost time benefit or the cost effort benefit is not equitable. So we still continue with the 2D out there. So we need a better system in terms of how to quantify if we are given a 2D drawing. Techno-commercial project viability is assessed at the concept and schematic drawing stage. On a 2D drawing, accurate quantification is vital. So if anybody can work on this, that would be great. Need to develop a single graphic user interface where site supervisor, daily wage earner would be able to upload daily work done graphically on a smartphone. Today, how we are doing it through dashboards. He needs to go and click, okay, this work is done. But imagine if he can do it graphically, if he can go into that element and click out that this work is done, that would push this entire system to the next level. Adoption of technology at grassroots level is the key. People need to be evaluated and rewarded for their performance and efficiency. It's not only important that we get a feedback in terms of what work is done, but it's equally important for me to recognize who has done it, in what time he has done it, and then reward him. See, if you want to enforce positive behavior, if you don't measure it, and if you don't recognize it, you don't reward it, that behavior does not get inculcated. So it's very important for us, to reinforce that behavior. Once we measure it, we are able to reinforce it. Simple API plugins for smooth interface between ERP and construction softwares for dynamic budgeting. As a real estate developer, finally, what is important for me? Being able to transfer all the data into numbers. And now I'm a listed entity. Numbers are very important for not only for me, but also for my investors. Having complete visibility of accurate cost to complete is vital. Means, imagine if we are able to recalculate our cost to complete on a daily basis. That would take the system to the next level. Need AI, BI tools. Of course, AI and BI are very important. We have all the data, but we don't know what to do with it. That work on data sets available both captively, in-house, and also what is readily available in the environment. Thank you. I'm almost done. Yes, so this is what we are doing at Rustomjee, and this is what we expect from the community out here. Thank you.